And another day or weekly reset. Okay, I think everything is... Okay, everything's gone. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely have to look at all the shops. I think I would have got the money from here. Look at the reclaim. I probably don't need to mess with that. You know what? I think I'm pretty good. Oh, now too. Okay, let's see. So I got 500 of those. I wish we could just preview this. I think I'll just hold on then. At least that's something, feature something a little bit different. What's this telling me? Okay. It told me nothing. Every once in a while I do think about changing what's my character look, but it's like at this point, I think it's just well established that I've been a mascot the whole time. Can't change it anymore. Unless they have a thing where you could put some accessories on the mascot. Now that would be cool. I'm not even sure if... I think Waffles is finally back. But I don't know if he's doing his raid today. So I guess with that, we'll just elite, just do this now, and if he does his raid, then I think it'll be an hour from now. But I think he's probably not. I think he just probably recently got back. Okay. You know what? I actually really don't know if this is the right thing. Or supposed to just hiding behind the tree. Honestly, I think like turning stuff like that, it would be better if it had like kind of like a better like signal that says like what you're supposed to do. Oh, so what's this one? Okie dokie. don't. Yeah, I think that we have even more like random bots or like randomly what's that, messaging and stuff. It's kind of weird because they even for the bots, it's like it starts off almost like a real person, and then it gets a little odd, as in like they'll ask you things like, "Oh, but you're watching this stream, so you know that." Then it kind of goes into like, "Oh, that pre-scripted answers and stuff." Like, it was I was talking to a bot the whole time, and usually a bot that's trying to sell you something like, "Oh, I can make you a banner for what's it like for Twitch or something." You know, like, are you a real human? It's like, of course I am. But that's not what how a human acts. Already? I don't think the music caught up at first. Okay. There we go. Yeah, or sometimes we're like, was it you like, oh wow, new subscriber, but then it was like disappear after like, you know, a few hours. Just like no one actually does that. And you find out like, oh okay, that's because it was a bot that was like trying to gain interactions with you. What a time to be alive, right? Where you're like, oh man. I mean, even with I'm pretty sure people get these like calls where it's like, oh yeah, it'll help your your tax status and stuff. Like, oh, do you want some tax relief? And I'm like, no, my taxes are good. Then you read it, and you could tell it's like a bot, because if a tax office of the IRS is like, no, mad and try to like, no, take your money and all that, they will definitely say, call you out by name. So if you get like some kind of like IRS, oh, you owe the IRS like, no, so much money and all that stuff, and it doesn't have your name, then you kind of like be suspicious about that. And but with AI, it makes it where like people, these scam calls and scam emails and messages and stuff is so much more now. It's like we need to definitely regulate like AI stuff more, because that stuff is getting like out of hand and extra annoying. It's like, yeah, it's like if you don't get at least like 3 calls every day, then you're like, oh, I think something's odd. The AI, they're not working hard enough. I think they have enough for this now. I don't? Oh, because I was yeah, I forgot. Oh no, I was going after the wrong one the whole time. Oh. Okay, well, the last like 2 or 3 days, let's act like that didn't happen. Can't believe I went after the wrong. It's because I didn't trust but verify. That's why. I got complacent. All things you hear if you ever were in the military, like trust but verify. Don't forget to circle exit. Circle exit is when you have a procedure and you usually have like a dry erase, like what's a wax pen marker. Either way, right? On the usually you have a laminated procedure, right? Generally. Even if you don't, you have to use a pencil for it, but generally it's nice to have one that's laminated, so when you can do this procedure over and over again, you're not wasting paper. Or like, no. Yeah, pretty much you're not wasting paper is the best way to do this. But either way, by circle Xing it, like some people like, oh, I just remember my place in the procedure, and then people mess up because they forget. And to prevent that, is they did the whole circle X procedure. Where you circle the position that you're on, you put an X through it to denote that you finished that part of the procedure. I'm not sure if everyone does it like that. I just know submarines did it like that. You know what? I think this should be fine. That's what circle Xing is. It feels extra dumb though, like when you feel like you're doing some kind of maintenance and it's like something that's like, you know, like, oh yeah, go look at this one filter, make sure the filter's okay, and like, something like that. It makes you feel like, okay, this is pretty dumb. I mean, I get the point of the reason why it's good to do that, because after you meet some other people who are like really bad at keeping their place in the procedure, then you're like, okay, never mind. This, as dumb as you may personally think it is, it's better than having someone who like doesn't know what they're doing do that. Like, there's many a times where, okay, random submarine story. There was like a time where this person, right? I mean, this would be a good example where you're doing a procedure, and during this time, a lot of people are messing up the procedure. So they're on the command will tell you, oh yeah, if you feel like you're uncomfortable with the procedure, you know, say something, right? So I told the person, like, I don't feel comfortable with this procedure because we're in shipyard where a lot of things are moved, and I don't think this procedure, it outlines exactly how it's like since other things are out of place. I don't think this fully like, you know, takes into account that, right? And there's like another procedure where like these were drawn or pretty much approved by the captain, whereas like I forgot what the oh my god, it's like a temporary procedure essentially, right? Like where because things are moved in a certain way, temporarily we do it by this way. But they didn't do that. So I was like, I don't trust this. So then we're like, oh, go get some better. You was like, no, that's their stuff, right? So the mechanics, I'm like, okay. A lot of them didn't want to do this, right? Oh yeah, I'm too busy. That's not why. They didn't. None of them wanted. The smart ones didn't want to do this because they're like, they also didn't know. Like, I don't think this procedure is gonna work, right? And I was like, I agree with you. I also don't think it's gonna work the way it's supposed to be. So eventually they forced me to, oh, get this one person, he'll do it for you. I'm like, okay. And of course, as you may have guessed, the procedure didn't work. Right, and they would try to do like a fact finding, and that's when essentially fact finding is their way of like blaming people, right? It's like, oh, who was the reason why everything goes messed up? And they would try to like yell at me, but I was like, nope. Not only did I tell you guys this was a bad idea, I was like, I don't feel comfortable doing this because I think this is broken, essentially. I just remember, like, and the only way for them to yell at me is they would have to, like, pretty much throw their own people under the bus, the mechanics. So they're like, we can't really yell at him because if we do, it makes us look extra stupid. So I just kind of was like, okay. So they couldn't really do anything to me. And speaking of that, there was another one where, of course, I think no, I should probably go over here. Nothing is being... Hardly anything's being dropped. Okay, there we go. At least got a few drops. There's another one where, see, in the military, there's something called like a chain of command. So like, it's also kind of like, no, besides like, okay, you go up the chain of command to talk to like, okay, who's in charge, right? Instead of like talking to like the CEO, you go like lower first, then go up a little bit higher. But that's also to prevent sometime when you have like, let's say someone with a really high position, right? So you technically have to listen to lawful orders. But if the person is like too high of a position, right, you can't, isn't really, I won't say can, right? But it becomes more difficult to just tell them, no, you're wrong. So with that, right, that's why there's a chain of command, right? And because if someone like closer to your rank is telling you like, oh, by the way, do this, right? I think you'd be like, okay, no, how about this? And like you kind of do some talk. But if there's like someone way higher, like you're E1 and a captain goes and tells you to do something, no, the power dynamic and all that. But yeah, I remember there's one time, some Marines are a little bit different since we don't, when you're underway especially, you don't really, like, not as stringent as like, let's say, probably anyone who's ever in the Army or Marines are. Definitely the Marines. Because I used to, when I went to school, there's a lot of people that were veteran Marine and all that kind of stuff, right? So like I grew up around a lot of Marines. So they're like really like a stickler for rules and stuff. Certain jobs in like the Navy or in Air Force, they're not. They're just kind of like, we're like civilian adjacent. But yeah, there was a time where this one chief wanted to, I guess he wanted to yell at my chief at the time, but he couldn't yell at him directly. So instead, he kind of went after me. You try to go after me and like, no, yell at me because, oh, you're the one that you should know about all this stuff. Like, dude, first of all, I'm not that ranked to, no, really care. But also, like, I was like, yeah, if you have a problem, go talk to him. Funny thing is, like, sometimes I use it to my advantage, where like they would be like, oh yeah, like I'll tell us, oh no, you need to talk to this other higher ranked person because he knows what's going on, right? Then later on they'll talk to me like, I don't know what the hell's going on. You're the pretty much the expert of that. I was like, oh yeah, but I just didn't want to talk with that, like get yelled at by that one higher up person. So I just used you as threw your name out there. He's like, oh okay. I do that every once in a while. You have to be smart with it. Like just office politics, you got to be smart with it. For example, this office politics, how to maneuver it, is very good in it. Like, let's say if you're playing Commander in Magic or something like that, right? Or any game. Oh no, good. Another one example is someone who's good at like navigating office politics and stuff. Pretty much if you're good at gaslighting, you'll also be good at Among Us. Because then you could just like tell them like, oh no, this is what's actually going on, even though they don't start believing their eyes. They're like, wait a minute, what is that what actually happened? Like, yeah, that's what happened, bro. Exactly. It definitely did not happen like that, but you just tell them that. That's what I had to do before. Or do malicious compliance. I did a, it's not really malicious because I'm doing it in jest. So I wasn't being malicious about the whole thing, but I could see how some of the people were like, oh yeah, you're being maliciously compliant against this. Because they told me to go pick up something on the ground for like no reason. I was like, oh no, we need to make sure, like, I don't know what that is, right? We have to have the proper PPE and all that kind of stuff before we pick it up. And I was just being very annoying about it. And eventually the guy just picked up, it's just a piece of land. I'm like, then later on, one of the younger guys or my junior guys are telling me like, oh, like, is he mad at you? I'm like, I don't care if he's mad at me. Like, he's not gonna do anything. And it was also very funny. Yeah, like sometimes you just had to like at any workplace you're in, like there's parts that make you mad, but you have to like find the fun parts of it. Right, you can't go overboard. Like, can't be like not doing silly stuff all the time, but every once in a while you kind of mix it in there so your boss is like, dude, I don't know, like. But it's also good to be, you also, if you feel like, okay, this place kind of sucks, always find your exit ramp and always have like a, trying to line up a different job as well. Because if you have that, you have the power of like, okay, no, I already got this one interview, you already passed it, all that stuff. When you leave that place, you could be like, oh, or if you have like a means or like, oh, so I have a stable income coming in on like other income, so I'm not dependent on this one place, is always good. And plus it makes you less stressed out because like, okay, if it gets too bad, I could always say, fuck this place. And when you're stuck, yeah, then you just have to like listen to their bullshit. Like, even my boss now, like, it's funny because now, my past boss, right? I have to like, I do every once in a while when I go back to like that area, I do see her and it's extra funny. I was like, that place is just a hot mess. Because a lot of the people that are like, that could actually do work, they left. So that place is an extra mess. I'm like, okay. Even though I do understand where sometimes it is hard to go back to your old workplace. Like for me, if I went back into like, actually the boat that I worked on is decommissioned, so it's like stripped for parts and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't even exist anymore. So I can't even go back there, even if I wanted to. That is just crazy. And every time someone tells me, oh yeah, like I'm thinking about joining the military and all that, or the Navy, how's submarines? I'm like, don't do it. Don't you do it. It takes a special type of person to be able to thrive in submarines. Isn't definitely not for everyone. And yeah, under no circumstances is it for everyone, right? So I'm like, hey man, if you ain't about that life, or I wouldn't recommend it. Oh no, I think I'm teleported to the wrong place. Yeah, definitely don't recommend that job for everyone. I do recommend corpsman though. If you like anything medical related, that's pretty nice. Pretty nice job. I wanted to go into that. But at the time, I listened to the lie. Like, oh, that's not even open. Then later on, someone's like, no, they just fucking lie to you. Yeah, that's why I don't really trust recruiters. I met a lot of bad ones, that's why. Or career counselors. They only want to advance their own career. It's like, why do you even have this position? Almost like a teacher that hates kids. Yeah, or like some other people, like, I saw them, or maybe they forgot that I used to work with them when they were like extra trash. So they'll pretend like, oh yeah, no, I'm a recruiter now and I really love the Navy and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's not what you were saying before. I even actually had someone to my face tell me like, oh yeah, no, like pretty much I hate how much he hates like the military and all that stuff. Then skip 2 years later, and he's talking about, oh, how much I love it and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, I'm looking at this man and I'm 100% he forgot that he told me all of these things. And I'm just like, ah. I'm pretty sure people met that even in like outside the military, just actual workplaces. They meet people like that in the civilian life. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. And we'll go here. Yeah, those people who, like, when you first start your workplace, like especially if you've been there for like a few years, right? Some people like when you first met them, how they change up, how they act. You see them now, you're like, oh. Or another good advice is watch out for the people who are like, right when you go, like, let's say you're the new guy, you just got this one job, you're the new guy, you can first come in, and that one person who overly wants to be your friend, like, oh, let's go hang out after work and all that kind of stuff, right? Watch out for them, right? You don't have to be rude and to that kind of person, but just watch out, because a lot of times those are the scumbags and they don't have any friends, so they try to latch onto every new person that comes in, because eventually the new person would realize, oh, this person's a scumbag, and then they're going to leave and they're going to do it to the next new person. It's not all the time. There's some people who are just like, just generally just nice. But it's always good to just be like, okay, no, be a little aware and just know. Yeah, that's definitely like a great advice I give to everyone who, for actually not just the military, but for any job. Watch out for that person who's overly, like you go to a new job, is overly friendly. You're like, wait a minute, are you up to something? And if they're not, then that's cool, but I'm just saying, a lot of times they are up to something. I don't think this area has any extra boxes. Let's check a little bit. Okay. I think like every like 30 minutes or something, they should do like a little concert right over here. I think what's the, was it Fantasy Star Online did that. Fantasy Star Online 2. Dude, oh man, that game. How to explain this without sounding weird? If only Boxall was here, I think he'll understand as soon as I say this, but that game, the character creation, you can make a lot of interesting choices in your original character in Fantasy Star Online 2. And when you go to the main, like, you know, a hub where a lot of people are just like over there, you'll definitely see some designs, and you'll be like, it'll make you question life. You'll be like, oh, one of those. Oh, can I actually go over there? Okay, let's see how far up I can. Oh, actually. Oh, okay, I could go up this. Oh, technically that would be the highest area, yes. Right here, right? I was wrong. Okay. So wait, enough of the... Oh, no, actually, right over here. I think. Okay, okay. Let's see. Oh, no, I can't. The angle gets really bad, so I can't see. Okay, maybe if I go over here. Okay. I think this is the highest point in... no. Not quite sure. No, I think we're probably higher than that. Probably the highest point I could get in the game, or in this area right now. We have so much landmass that they could do more stuff with. And there's low polygons over there. Okay, in that case, with that, actually, there. Up here. Yeah, we'll just take a random one. So at least we could say we've been there. We've been at the top. Oh, and with this, we'll call it a day for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to look at look at all those shops to get everything before the weekly reset. That'll be a little bit later on today. I thought by the time I said that, I would have loaded in, but it's taken a while. Okay, cool. From here. There. And with this, everyone, you guys have a good one. Stay tuned tomorrow. We'll do more shenanigans. And I think since Waffles is back, I think we'll probably try to see if we can schedule some other fun things to do. You guys have a good one and take care. Peace.